This is Suspenders Unbuttoned, a podcast where friends talk with friends about TV, movies, and books.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. My name is Sarah.
And I'm Julie, and we're excited to welcome Patch May to the podcast. Hi.
Hello, ladies. Sarah, Julie, how you doing?
We're great.
How are you?
Yeah, we're excited to meet you.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. Happy to have a chat. So thank you. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. It was a busy weekend for me. I hope you all had a little more relaxing of a time.
What went down? Because you two both have families, so I guess you had Father's Day yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday was Father's Day and my daughter's birthday.
Woo!
Busy day.
So they're busy. Well, we're excited to have you on. You have a new movie coming up, Lifelong Love. That's going to air Friday, July 21st on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel. Got it all out.
You got it out there all in one breath there, Julie. Lovely work. That's correct. Looking forward to it. Very stoked. Had a lovely experience making the film. And yeah, it should be a really fun watch because we had an absolute ball making it.
Tell us a little bit about the movie, A Lifelong Love.
So it's centered around two characters. Well, actually four. It becomes a bit of a mystery adventure movie. So I played the role of Ryan, and Andrea Brooks, who I've worked with before, who's an absolute legend, plays the role of Annika. And basically we were high school sweethearts and have an off-chance encounter at a book publisher, and we're both trying to get our own separate books published. Both unsuccessful. So then we actually end up teaming up to create a new book. She's a poet, I'm a photographer. And we're searching for her grandfather's long lost love. So he married and had a wife, but before that, he went off to war and had that old sweetheart, which never kind of eventuated. So we team up with Abe, played by Tom Young, who's Annika's grandpa, and then my young niece, played by Avery Peters, Ellie. And so we team up as a kind of mystery team of four, trying to discover where this long lost love might be, going back to our old towns or his old town, and interviewing a whole bunch of crazy characters.
Okay, I love it already. I think it's really fun when the grandparents are involved for some reason. I love that. But tell us a little bit about Ryan. So he's a writer, a photographer.
Yeah, so he's a photographer. Historically, he's definitely someone who's always been a bit more off the cuff, not much of a planner per se. Definitely kind of if something sounds like a good idea, let's jump in, let's do it, and I'm all in. So that being said, and that's where the conflict comes with Annika, Andrea's character, because she's very much a planner, a perfectionist. Yeah. And sometimes when you're a perfectionist or trying to get things just right, you kind of don't take that first step or that first leap because it may lead to a mistake. So there's a bit of a yin and yang between our characters. I'm very much an in the moment, let's get into it. Even if it gets really messy, there could be a good surprise or a good story that comes out of it. But she's kind of hesitant to take that first step. So that's kind of where we I guess there's a bit of conflict there.
Right. The conflict that opposites attract, right? So.
Exactly.
Right.
That works.
You like when there's like that back and forth, though. That makes we enjoy that in these movies when there's good back and forth.
100%. I mean, that's kind of what helps make the story and helps find that dynamic in what could possibly end up being the relationship. You never know. I don't want to spoil it, but 100%. Opposites do attract, and it all makes it much more interesting, I think, for the audience, and much more fun to play too, because you got to work harder to try and get that person on board, right? You can't just when minds think alike, everyone's on the same synergy and we're just going, but it's not as fun and you don't have to do as much work. So it's good trying to get her out of her set ways.
Right. And now, so you had worked with Andrea Brooks on The Wedding Fix. So did that make it easier to kind of find that banter with these new characters just because you've worked with Andrea before?
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I've had the privilege of working with Andrea in The Wedding Fix, and we also had Nicholas Humphreys as our director and Lexi Lewis as our producer. So coming onto this project, I was already extremely excited because working with those three the first time, and I've been fortunate enough to work with Nicholas and Lexi another time as well. They're just such great people, so giving, extremely talented at what they do. Particularly Andrea, she's been in the industry for 15 years, longer, and has been working non-stop that entire time. For someone of that experience, she's such a giving actor. She's so pleasant and just a joy to work with. Like, we definitely had a great banter and even fun. You're on set for, a couple of weeks. So in that time, little jokes and little stories happen, which you laugh about. And we were still laughing about things from 2 years ago, filming this movie. So honestly, there's no better feeling. It's always great to work with new people and have new relationships, but particularly these, when there can be some time restrictions, to come in with people who and who are much like, yes, let's play, let's figure this out. Oh, it's just sensational. You wake up every day with a big smile on your face and just ready to play and make something great. Hopefully make something great.
Yeah.
I love that. So when did you film this movie?
So we filmed this in April.
Okay, cool.
In Winnipeg. Absolutely.
So not very long ago.
No,
yeah.
Not long ago.
Pretty quick turnaround.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, we had a well-oiled machine, so maybe that helps a little bit.
Yeah, the dream team. So, okay, let's talk about the movie again. So is there, do you have like a little Easter egg you can tell us to look for when we're watching on July 21st?
Yeah. Watch out for the duck.
For the duck. Okay.
See where it comes up and just make a little note. And just follow the duck.
We'll be following the duck the whole way. Lillian in the comments wants to know if you get to keep the accent in the movie.
No, not for this one. No, this one I have my American accent in check. And business as usual with that. No, I haven't been able to do one of these yet in my own voice, but maybe that'll happen down the road. You never know.
I don't know why they don't let the actors keep their accents sometimes.
Yeah,
I would enjoy that.
I mean, we're in North America, right? We're playing in the backyard, so it probably makes sense to keep it that way. But yeah, I mean, these shows and these films are always growing and changing, and they're taking more risks, or not necessarily risks, but they're very much open to exploring new stories and new ideas. So yeah, maybe in time it'll happen, but in the meantime, look, I love putting on an accent, whether it's an American or an Irish or a Scottish, because it's just another element to your character, right? It just helps you kind of get in.
That's true.
Get a foot in the door. Yeah.
I'm going to say, as an American, when I'm at work, the number of accents I hear in my daily job is probably 20. Like, it would not even make me flinch to hear you playing someone who lives in the United States and has an accent. That is normal. Right. That's in the range of normal things we hear.
I know. Well, it's always funny too, because, everywhere has their own, I guess you'd call it a standard dialect, and then the scale of where things can go right. one way or another. So sometimes I could be a lot more easier to understand than at other times. So I think that's why American is probably the safer bet with certain words or phrases. I tend to speak.
And Sarah and I can even just span a fair amount from one side to the middle of the United States. Sarah can break out her New England.
Yeah,
exactly. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll try and push for one. I'd love to
that would be fun.
Right. And Lillian's like, American accent, but they don't do the Boston one.
You don't say that enough. It's great, the Bostonian accent. I love it.
I do too. No, actually, I don't. Okay, so this is going to be on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries, which means it's got to be a little deeper or there's got to be something about it that made them put it on that station and not on the regular Hallmark. So what is it about this film that's maybe a little deeper or more emotional, or is it because of the mystery element? What do you think?
I think it's definitely a option D, all of the above. There's a mystery because in some of the elements where we go, there could be some potential hauntings. I don't want to give too much away.
A little too scary for the regular channel.
So there could be some things there. And like anything in these movies, there is conflict in a way of where we may be working towards our end goal, but there's things along the way which, you know, are roadblocks to that. And sometimes those roadblocks could be pretty big and they may be the end point. You just don't know. So maybe that's why they've gone there too. Again, I'm trying not to spoil everything.
Yeah, we like that. We like a little more depth to the storytelling. So we're all in.
So
right?
we're going to look for ducks, ghosts, and roadblocks.
Right? What was your favorite scene location in this movie? Without giving too much away, you can just...
Yeah, you know what? I had a couple, but I'll give one. Because this movie is based on Abe, who's Grandpa Abe, who's Annika's grandfather. You do get to see kind of a time warp on one location, and so that was a diner.
Nice.
So we were shooting out in beautiful Selkirk, and this diner had all those vibes of, you know, the 1940s.
Yeah.
The old jukebox and the black and white checkered floor and
Love it.
big old milkshakes in the glass. So I really like that, because I feel like all those scenes and places like that have a bit of nostalgia, even if you haven't lived them fully in your own kind of life. They just ooze off onto you, and they're always nice little moments and feel good bits. So we got to have a bit of a dance in there too as a team of four, which was fun, playing the old jukebox. So, yeah, that was good.
Fun, bust out the jukebox. Yes.
Yeah. So Lillian wants to know. Sheila would like to know, how is the niece character involved in the storyline?
Very much. She's Avery Peters, who plays Ellie, who's my niece, is very much intertwined. Once we kind of get past that first section of the movie, we are a team of four. So it's Abe, Annika, Ryan, and Ellie all teaming up, working together. Best thing about Ellie is she's very smart, and she's very she has a lot of detective skills. And so she leads the way in many of our discoveries and tasks to try and help find this long lost love. So she's very much in the story.
Love that.
Love that.
Now, is she tagging along with you because of that reason, because has these skills, or are you like babysitting?
It's a little bit of both. Again, not trying to get too far into revealing the story, but her parents are having some trouble. So I've kind of she's staying at my place over the course of this, and this is one way I find that one thing she'll really love, but it'll also help take her mind away from some other things that, you know, aren't always too nice to do.
Perfect.
I love that. Family, caring for family. That's a great theme to take through that movie too. So
yeah, big time. And just the connections we had as a little group of four, it definitely felt like a family movie. Particularly, you know, we're all lumped up in a car together going on the road trip to the old town. It was super fun. Yeah, great family vibes for sure.
Sounds fun. Okay, so is there something that we haven't asked you about the movie that you wanted to share with us?
One thing I love about projects and movies like this is you have your core cast, and then you'll have those supporting people that'll only be on maybe a day or 2 days. And the people who play, because the character who we're trying to find, her name is Ruth, and that is a very old popular name. I think there's 250 or something of them in the yellow pages. So we keep finding these people whose name is Ruth, who we think is Ruth, but it's not her at all. So we had, you know, a couple of different women who played them: Rachel McLaren, Judith Harper, and then Brenda, who plays our other Ruth at the end. They just all brought something different, and just the connections you have with people only for a day or two. Like, for example, Judith, who plays our first Ruth, she was a nurse for 50 years. And she's only just come into acting in the last couple of years, and I think she's in her 70s. And just people like this who are, you know, you learn so much on these sets because you never know who you're going to meet and who you're going to cross. And someone like that was so talented, and I'm just sitting down, not even having to act at all, because their talent and skill was just so generous and so captivating to watch. That I hope that translates through, because there were a few scenes we did with our opposing cast, which isn't easy sometimes as an actor to just come on it to a set which already has a vibe, and to work with these people. Yeah, so hopefully that comes through, that all the little supporting characters, they pop and shine. Particularly Michael Strickland as well, who plays our book publisher. He was a menace to us in the best of ways. In the comedy of the scenes at the beginning of the film, he's definitely we were on the edge of our seats because he was just pushing us in a way that we didn't know where he was going to go. So yeah, that's something I'd like to say about the film that I really enjoyed, and I hope that comes through.
Okay, I'm loving that this woman has 50 years of nursing experience and then goes into acting. Also, the listening and people skills that you just have for being a nurse for 50 years, you know, you can't teach that.
Incredible. And same with Tom Young, who plays Abe, Annika's grandpa. I mean, he was in the postal service, I think, for 30, 40 years too. And he's only just started acting in the last 5 or so. And again, someone with something just happens with life, right? Every year we get a little bit older, and that wisdom, it exudes whether we're doing what we've grown up doing or we change to do something else. That life experience still comes through. And he was just such a good fellow, such a generous person, and gave so much on screen. And he was so funny too to work with. Yeah,
super fun.
I love that. Gosh, I really love hearing these stories about people that have had a full career and then they retire. They start another real big career. I think it's amazing. And they're having a blast. Yeah.
100%. I think it's just a great lesson. You're never done in life, no matter if you've achieved something great or you haven't done well in one field. There's always other things you can do as long as you, give it a red hot go, as my old rowing coach would say. So you give it 100% and see what happens. And it's a great thing to see, and it's very humbling is the wrong word. It's very inspiring because we all go through our trials and tribulations at different stages of our life, and we go, you know what, this person's shook it off and done something completely different, and look at them now. Like it's a great thing to see.
No, I love that. And I teach lifetime learning in what I do at work. And so I kind of love these lifetime learning stories. It's super fun. And I just think to see people like that too in your workplace, don't you like that multi-generational aspect of your work?
Oh, I love it. It's such a funny industry, right? Particularly when you're making a film. It's like getting on a bus. You just don't know who's going to be there. Some people are there because they love the art form. Some people are just there because it's something that they've stumbled upon, stumbled into. But there's just a great, if you get lucky, there's a good cohesion of people all on the same bus wanting to get to the same destination with their skill and talent. So, you learn lessons, you get inspired, you laugh, you have deadlines that you're trying to get. Everyone's trying to do their very best because there's 20 minutes left in the day and we need to get these 3 shots in that time. It's always a great thing to see, and that's the beauty of it. And then also sometimes the hard part when you finish it, because it's such a roller coaster for the time you're shooting, and you feel like you've created a family and had this experience and this is life now, and then you're done. And then you just have to be thankful for the experience and then get ready, hopefully, for the next one.
Now, when did you want to become an actor?
You know what? I always had it in the back of my mind. I've got 3 brothers at home, and so if you used to come over to our dinner table, you didn't know what was going on because we'd just be dropping movie quotes left, right, and centre. So we wouldn't really be saying, how was your day at all? So people were very kind of stuck going, what's going on in this household? So, I used to play football, and so I kind of had an idea or had a dream of being able to make an athletic career first and then move into acting. And then that fell short. I had a couple of shoulder injuries, and so it was something that I always pursued, but I was doing a few other things kind of on the side, but it was always in the back of my head. And then there just became a point where I was trying to do things, some creative things as well, in pursuit of getting things made. But because I was working with a lot of other people at the time, acting always was kind of pushed back because that was something I could do on my own in my spare time. And then it just got to a point where I was like, you know what, this is not what I want to do right now. And then I got really lucky with my timing. I stopped kind of in November and had the December off, and then I booked a show in the January after, giving myself 4 weeks of full-time acting. So it was just kind of lucky how that happened to make that transition. But yeah, something I've always wanted to do. I've always loved films, the power of film, how, you learn a lesson, or you look inward to yourself and you laugh and you cry, or you just get inspired, or you learn something new. They're just an exceptional medium that I've always loved.
So did you, so you were kind of doing a couple of things. Did you go to like acting school or take classes or?
Yeah. So, I went to university and studied production. Part of that was, good to have an education, good to keep the parents happy, and could see like that lineage getting down there in a different form. And then at the same time I was at university, I was doing a part-time acting school. And then from there I was lucky enough to get an agent. That was Screenwise in Sydney. And then I did a bit of studying at university. I went to the States for some university as well, did more acting and cinematography there. And then was basically into it. And in that time, I just feel it's like anything, there's always room to improve and things to learn. So I've been doing different courses, working with different teachers and coaches over the past, 6 to 10 years, really. Yeah. And some people you find you have that good connection, like any good teacher, right? If you find the right one, they just open up your thinking and your curiosity in a variety of ways. And I've been very fortunate, particularly the last couple of years, to have a couple of great coaches who just taught me so much, not just about acting, but art and just being curious and trying to be, an empathetic human being.
I love that. I love that.
So what was your first job, real acting job?
I actually worked on a film. I booked an independent film, which was, 2023, which was 10 years ago. So I got straight out of acting school, booked a film. And I was so excited. It was an action sci-fi film. The film still hasn't come out because there were so many special effects. They weren't able to pay them all off, so they haven't been done yet. So I'm told the film's still in the works, even though it's been 10 years. But it was with some great seasoned Australian actors, and actually with John Rhys-Davies, who plays Gimli in Lord of the Rings. So I was in the candy shop, Steve Bastoni, Tasman Walton, a couple of really Australian actors. So yeah, I was just there, just absorbing it all in, and that was for about 12 weeks or so, on and off, pretty much straight out of acting school. So that was a cool experience, and there was a bit of action in there. Yeah. So we got to do some stunts. I had to put on a bit of size and weight very quickly. So that was an interesting experience, having to do that as well. So and then they all imparted different bits of wisdom, and sometimes when you're in still early days, you think every word or line, it should be so important, so you're stopping and starting, and then Steve Bastoni said, just say the line, just have a thought. So it was a good lesson, right? Because it's not about the words, it's about what's going on behind the words, or where we need to get to sometimes. So yeah, definitely picked up some good lessons there.
What a great experience, though, right out of school. That's amazing.
Oh, crash course.
Right.
Yeah, like an internship. Especially since you haven't seen it yet.
It's like doing a quick residency or internship rotations. Yeah, that's amazing. Question in the comments: have you done any theater?
I have not. No, I've done some improv theater, but that's been my theater career so far. I do love it, love going, and I definitely love from a studying perspective. I think there's always so much to learn in plays, because the text is just incredible. It's a great plays written. So I haven't done any theatre, have not ruled it off yet, but we'll see. All in time, you never know. So
no theatre in high school or anything?
I did a little. I used to muck around in the auditions, and so I didn't. I remember one time I kind of had put in houses in schools. It's just how they break people up, so then they can kind of monitor you. And he said, well, what happened? I said, I went to the audition. And then he asked the drama teacher, and then she came back and said I was mucking around in the audition. So I was always a bit of a class clown. So I was always trying to make people laugh, as opposed to doing the actual task. So didn't work in my favor at times.
It worked out for you now, though, but
yeah.
Right.
Not
I
at
feel like those kids were still all in the production.
Yeah. I got my final year. I did do drama as a class, so we did put on a like a Monty Python amalgamation play, which was fun, and so yeah, I got a little.
I've been there for that.
Yeah.
Anything Monty Python, that would have been fun.
I love it. All right, what about going back to like your early career? What is the first thing that you were able to watch yourself in, and do you like watching yourself in projects?
So first thing I was able to watch myself in, probably this is a well-known Australian soap opera series called Home and Away. All the big stars have done it. Kylie Minogue, Chris Hemsworth, they've all been on it. So I had a very small role on that. So that was something that was quick, fast TV. Again, a really good learning experience because they shoot with 2 cameras and you just pump work out. It really bred me for this Hallmark world where you're in a very much a fast-moving workspace. And then so that came out on Australian television very much like a couple of months later. So that was an interesting experience. And then Ronnie Chang, international student, which was still one of the funniest roles I've done to this day, where Ronnie Chang is a very well-known comedian. He basically lived in Australia for 10 years as a university student. And he wrote this sitcom or this comedy series based on his experiences. And to sell it internationally, they needed an American. So I came in as this American frat boy living in the international house, and everyone's from China and Vietnam and Malaysia, and I come in as just this dude ready for some fun, and it's kind of again a clash and a push and pull of like a yin and yang thing of someone who's just here for a good time and everyone else who's here to study and work. But that was really interesting, and that was fun to watch. And to answer your second question, do I watch myself? Do I like watching myself? I think every time I watch myself at first, you're always the devil's advocate in terms of seeing where there might have been better choices or things you could have done that may have been more interesting or served the script in a different way. But then watching other things back, you take it as what it was, right? That's what it felt in the moment. You were reacting and working alongside someone. And then so it's part of the business. Yeah, I don't get the popcorn out and start watching a marathon of me. That's cool. But yeah, like I find it useful to watch and review all the time.
Yeah. I always find it interesting because we talk to so many different people, and I would say it's about split. Some people are like, nope, I will not watch it back.
And some people are like, I got to pick it apart, right?
Yeah, I think I definitely pick it apart and then let it be because it's already done, and you take the lessons and you always apply the learnings for the next one, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a dream role that you'd like to do?
I love cowboys. Always love good outlaw movies. So, a good Western. I would absolutely be jumping for joy. Massive, Yellowstone fan, and that universe that's been built out the last couple of years. And there's some exciting other shows that are on the horizon there. And then I've always had a big obsession with kind of period pieces, and again, it's like sword and sandal stuff. So like your Bravehearts, your 300, and whatnot. But you know what? It's become so much more apparent over the years as you get older. It's all about the story. Like I would say, sci-fi would never be, I guess, my first thing I'd go to watch. But I've read scripts that are set in space with these beautiful stories that are father-son stories, or you're chasing and trying to find that long-lost person. When really, as long as the story is strong, it doesn't really matter what the time or place is. But that being said, to be horseback on the open west would be a dream. That's for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I love a strong story. Maybe you could get a really strong story and it be a cowboy story.
Yeah.
That would be amazing. Well, my next question was going to be like, if you could have a role, or you could be in any old movie or TV series, what would it be? You kind of answered, but
yeah. There's some of those like a good Western. There's a couple of good Australian well-known movies like that are westerns. Man from Snowy River,
Oh,
Silver Brumby, which actually Russell Crowe is in, the very young Russell Crowe.
Yep.
So some of those old films would be very, very cool to be in, be a part of. You know, the first original Magnificent Seven, I think would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be good. Those are good. Those are good answers. Those are good answers. Is there a location that you'd love to shoot in?
Honestly, I love to go anywhere. I feel like being an actor in a way. You're a bit of a mercenary as you follow the work. You tell me where to go and I'll go. So anywhere that I haven't been, like the Scottish. We were talking for this film because Andrew and I have made two already. We were thinking what's going to be the third trifecta. And so the brainstorming is, which we'd have to write this, is that it's actually set in Scotland in the Highlands in an old castle.
Oh,
okay.
And so I would be playing a Scottish ghost, and she would have to come to the town and basically a love story built on someone who's gone and someone who's still there, and acceptance.
And have you presented this to anybody yet?
No, it's still. I've still got to write it down, put some more pen to paper, but it's in the works.
Ghost, the Scott in the castle. Yes, let's go. I'm in.
Yeah, 100%. Well, we'll see. I've got to work on it, but hopefully I have some good news for you, Julie.
Can we travel back and forth through time? I mean, come on. Clearly available to us.
Well, that's where other concepts come in of old and new, the old castle and the new town, just down the road, and how it's used now and what people do in the town.
Okay, that would be really fun, actually.
I mean, you still have time to write this, turn it into a Christmas movie, and get it out for Christmas.
That's it. Quick little September, October shoot.
Yeah, there you go.
December. There's still plenty of time. Plenty of time. I have faith in you both.
This could happen. We could see it happening.
That's we love to write new scripts during podcasts. So if you already have one, we don't need to do it this time. So we're rooting for you.
Oh, thank you. We'll give it a crack.
Sheila's saying, Lynn Curlin writes novels like that, ghost and living romances, many set in Scotland.
What's her name? What's his name?
Lynn Curlin, an author.
Lynn Curlin.
Yeah.
She writes a lot like that. And set in Scotland. So you're like,
there's the source material. We might just have to do an adaptation.
Yeah, there you go.
Ghost for Christmas.
There you go. A bit of work hacking there just to get there quicker.
Yeah, let's go. I think that would be really a fun movie of the week. It would to see like some connection over time like that.
Big time. Well, thank you. Thanks for the tip.
Yeah, we'll be on your cheering team for sure. So.
Always. I was thinking, do you want to play a little game with us?
Yeah,
100%. Let's do it.
It's not really a game. It's a lie. It's not a game.
We call it a game. We're gonna go with it. It's our favorites game. Do you have a favorite rom-com?
Is Wedding Crashers a rom-com?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Wedding Crashers.
Yeah.
So good. Yeah, absolutely. That's a rom-com. We're rolling with it. You can have more than one answer too. There is no rules to this. Not really a game.
It's more like a conversation.
Okay. Yeah, Wedding Crashers, great adult rom-com.
We're going with it. Do you have a favorite TV show?
TV show, yes, currently would be Yellowstone.
Yeah.
It's just,
sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, just the scenery itself, even from the very first episode of the first season, I was just absolutely the scenes of Montana and the scenery, the landscape, just so beautiful. And the story itself, particularly in that very first episode of the first season, it's carried on. I'm still captivated by it. But yeah, just beautiful themes, and I love it because particularly the first season, I feel you actually jump from side to side of who you're rooting for and cheering for, which is who we are as humans, right? Where there's goodness and badness, and we've done good things and things that we could have done better. So, and that's what I love about it. You're changing who you're going for.
I kind of love that I can't stand Beth, and then over time, by the end, I'm like, I'm Beth. I love her.
She's so popular, isn't she? Because I think she just says so many things that people wish they would say or do in their real life, and just
be Beth.
Yeah.
Be Beth. Yeah. No. Have you watched any of the other spin-offs? Like,
I love 1883. 1883 actually reminded me a bit of a play almost, because it was a little bit slower in nature, and you just kind of gently taken along the journey with them. And I'm a little bit late, but I've just begun 1923, which I'm also loving. I'm a couple of episodes into it, which again, it's just so good. Great acting, great scenery, and just awesome.
I would say 1883 is my favorite recent show. I made Sarah watch it, and we just started another rewatch through again. So
I don't know if I could rewatch it though. It's like,
I love that. We've maybe rewatched it a few times. I love it. It's
same thing too, right? You people lose their tempers, or people have choices for certain reasons, but they're all backed by all these things that have happened in their life and the reasons they're going. So it's always a great watch. Yeah.
And the bottom line is, boil the water. Boil the water.
That's what you love about some of those period pieces, right? Great to watch, but when you think of the day to day, pretty happy living in 2020.
Right. I'm
like trying to think how many times he actually says "boil the water" in that series. It's like you just keep getting it like intermittent
resonance in that voice too, isn't it?
It's like hitting your head against the wall. Boil the water. It's like the basics, but I love it.
Now, I want to stick on this question for one more second. Did you have a favorite show, or like as a child, that kind of made you think acting was something you wanted to do?
There were just so many. I mean, like someone like Will Ferrell, just a hilarious person, and just playing so many different characters in so many different comedies. Again, always great for dinner table chat with four boys. And just watching a lot of different adventure movies and action movies like your Bravehearts, Legends of the Fall. Just big epic stories like that. I just used to love getting taken on a journey and going, you know what, that would be pretty cool to be able to do that.
What were some of the favorite movies you and your brothers like to quote at the dinner table?
Wedding Crashers definitely gets up there.
All the Will Ferrell movies.
yeah. Blades of Glory's up there. It was very seasonal, right? It was kind of like what we'd watched on the Sunday night before was the chat the following night. So
perfect.
just a lot of those old comedies with like Ben Stiller, Vince Vaughn, Will Ferrell. A lot of those fun.
I love when the conversation is almost all quotes, and the whole conversation is handled in quotes.
Yeah. Well, it's funny too, because we've got a good friend, and he'll bring them out every now and then as well, and we'll be with a different group of friends, and they'll just be going, what's this guy talking about? You're on the same wavelength, so you're laughing, giving it back, and then there's a person over here going, you guys are nuts.
What is happening? Right.
I would be that person being like, what is happening? Because I will never remember the lines. Like, I had a friend like that growing up who could just like spew all the lines from all the movies, and I'm like, no, I need to put them on like flashcards so I remember.
Oh yeah, see, we were just dialed in. I just used to think if I could remember like my essays or whatever for school, and what I would do for music and movie quotes, I would have been top of the class every time.
Love it.
We very much spew movie quotes around here, and I have one son who pretty much started talking in movie quotes. So
does he have a go-to?
No, he's just like whatever and anything, and then you can add in musical theater into that now too. So he spontaneously sings also. And if you're gonna say like 4:30 and then 5, you're gonna get the Grinch monologue about what 5 o'clock jazzercise. You're going to get that one every time.
I love it. Okay, so what about, do you have a favorite food?
Oh, so many. One thing, because obviously I'm living over in Canada now, one thing I do miss is a good roast lamb from home. My mum cooks a fantastic roast lamb, and my grandma used to as well. So yeah, a good family roast.
Yeah.
And if we're eating out, Italian, and then you can't go wrong with sushi too. Vancouver is very well known for its sushi, so always love a good bit of sushi. It's good for lunch and dinner. So particularly summer now, it's always good.
Do you have something indulgent that you love?
I do love a bit of McDonald's, some Macca's chicken nuggets with sweet and sour sauce. But the trick is, right, you have to get it made fresh. So when I order at Macca's, I always say I'll have my nuggets and fries, and can I get that made fresh? Happy to wait. I already know they're going to tell me it's going to take long, so I let them know. I say, guys, I'm happy to wait. Can I get that made fresh? Tell you try it one time. It's a game changer.
I'll line my mom up next year. She will tell them every time, I want my French fries fresh, and I will wait.
Yeah, French fries. Can I get that made fresh, please? Happy to wait. Thanks. Done. It'll change your life, and then get that sweet and sour sauce on those nugs. Oh, that is definitely a guilty pleasure of mine.
Yeah. When I was like in preschool, I think my dad was a manager at McDonald's.
Oh,
I thought that was like the coolest thing ever.
100%. We used to have the birthday parties where you'd go to like the arcade game, and then adjacent, so they would do the birthday meals. Yeah. And I used to not eat. I was the fussiest eater as a kid, so I wouldn't even have cheeseburgers. I just refused to eat them. So I was like nuggets only until I was about 10 or 12. Yeah, my mum had a hard time, but we got there.
And now you're eating sushi. She must be proud.
Sushi, I bet she's eating it all.
Yes, we've all been there where our kids don't want to eat.
Yes, absolutely.
For sure.
Or streaky eat. They just only eat one thing: chicken nuggets, chicken strips, chicken.
All right, on the food thing, what about a favorite drink? It can be whatever.
Look, on a summer's day, there is something to be said for an ice. Like I'm talking like almost, it's starting to freeze a little bit, like an ice cold can of Coke. Something to be said there for a hot day. Mm-hmm. If we're getting a little bit more into the evening, I like a good friend of mine back home. He makes a fantastic mezcal old fashioned.
Ooh.
Oh. Yeah. Sarah in a previous life was a bartender, so
Yeah, it was a game changer a few summers ago while I was home. So yeah, a mezcal old fashioned is pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're up at the stakes
again. Good answer. Good answer.
Solid answer.
So, theater. You said you like going. Do you have a favorite musical?
I've always liked the classics. Phantom of the Opera, always loved it, as well as Les Mis. Those two, there's just so many good songs. You've seen so many different versions, and it still just kind of, gets through every time. So yeah, those two I love, just the two classics.
Yeah.
That's why they're classics.
It is why they're classics, yeah. Cry every time. What about when you're not acting and or watching these movies that you love? What are you doing? What is your favorite hobby?
So I also like to play music. So I write a little bit of my own music.
Nice.
And that is a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So myself, with my guitar, I'll do a bit of folk, kind of more country folk stuff, just mucking around. And then sometimes if I'm down in LA with a good mate, we'll do some more electronic dance stuff as well. So I like to kind of mix it up in different genres, have different outlets depending on the mood and the vibe and what's going on in life too. Sometimes it's nice just to sit with a guitar and channel some mood. And then sometimes you just want to, dance around a little bit and have a bit of fun. Okay,
in the Ghost Christmas movie in the castle, can the ghost play some music?
Ooh, there's a good idea.
So Andrea sings and plays a little too, right? So
yeah, she's got a great voice.
Yeah, let's go. Let's make this happen.
Put it in the basket. Put it in the ideas basket.
You play guitar and write your own music. let's get one of your songs in one of these movies.
She's getting a line there. You're getting a producer line or something in this new movie, Julie. I'm telling you.
Let's go. Let's make this happen. Come on.
We could be like co-producer.
Yeah.
Co-producer. Let's make this happen.
Suspenders Unbuttoned Productions. There we go.
There we go. That's our next step.
The podcast is only one part of the umbrella, right? It's all happening, and then there's
and
going to be
a diversified.
as well. You can get back onto some of the old cocktails as well.
Yeah.
This is
if I can remember how to make them.
we have a kind of a diversified umbrella anyways, and so we're always a little unbuttoned, and how we get places is a little untraditional, and so this feels like it fits under our umbrella.
I love it. Well, I'm happy to be here under the conglomerate that is Suspenders Unbuttoned. So
that's our next adventure, Julie.
Yeah.
Okay, last one, Patch. What about a favorite movie?
Favorite movie?
You asked that already, didn't you?
Oh, I did?
There's so many, but I'll go with Hell or High Water.
Okay.
Which is, I think Taylor Sheridan may have created it as well. But yeah, just a good movie. Beautiful soundtrack. Something I've always been very appreciative of a lovely music score. So that's by Nick Cave and Warren Ellis. Very talented Australians. But then again, Western movie. It's got a theme of brothers looking out for each other, but then there's the old detective who's probably past his heyday, looking at what he's done in the world and trying to still do right, even though you can see times are changing. And there's just so many good themes and undercurrents in that film which I love. So it's definitely one that has stuck with me over time.
I love that. I'm gonna ask one more.
Yeah.
You have a favorite band or singer?
Oh, so many, but two at the top of my mind. I'll go Chris Stapleton and Lenny Kravitz. So there's two different flavors.
Oh, yeah. I love both those choices.
Yeah.
Those
I
are
saw
good
Lenny
choices.
Kravitz live one time, and that was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Oh, where was it?
In Boston, and I think it was the Wang Theater, so it was kind of small. So it felt really intimate.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to see him in Sydney, but it was a huge concert, and we were in the nosebleeds. We still had a great time, but to see him in a venue like that, I feel would be amazing.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and it made me a fan. So, yeah.
And Chris Stapleton's voice too, incredible. I don't know if you saw the Super Bowl this year, but he also sung the national anthem.
Right.
Yep.
There's just so much character and pain, joy, tears in that voice. It just hits you every time. I love it.
Yeah, it's a reason why he's so popular, right?
Yeah.
He's amazing. Yeah.
Well, for sure. So, if you got any more? Because I just added more.
No, I'm good.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite artist? Who are you listening to at the moment?
Well, Julie's listening to.
What do I have up right now? I have Heart. Heart's always good. This is Aerosmith, and this is The Police. Ghost in the Machine. But I really have very broad tastes, and from over time. Like I love a really great pop hit, whatever's current and contemporary. And I love some classic dad rock too. So, but my defaults as a teenager will always be Journey.
Nice.
But I love such a huge range. So
that's a good solid one to have for sure.
Yeah.
Sarah?
Oh, well, okay, I'll say this. My all-time favorite singer is Judy Garland. Yeah. I don't know how I discovered her in high school, but I discovered her in musicals, and I just loved her. But I listen to a lot of, when I'm cleaning my house, I'll put on 90s and early 2000s, hip hop or pop.
Yeah, for sure. 90s hip hop, fantastic, and pop too. It's making a big comeback, isn't it?
Yeah.
Salsa culture, the old 90s, they're having their resurgence.
Right. And then I always like a good, power ballad of anybody. Anybody's going to do a power ballad. I'm there.
Let it out big time, particularly in the shower, first thing in the morning. No better way to say hi to those neighbours than just let them hear you at the top of your tonsils, just going for it.
I'll tell you that, though. driving in the car, I'm not allowed to listen to anything because my boys want what they want. So we listen to like this YouTuber, even share all the time. So I don't really get to listen to my music anymore.
Oh yeah, I think about that now when I think about my mum who just used to do, road trips with the four of us in the car. And I was just like, I don't know how you dealt with some of the music taste that you go through, particularly in your teens when you're going through those stages. I don't know how you really put up with this because I don't think I could put up with it anymore. That's my point there. Well done.
I like contemporary music and always have. So for me, as my kids went through the teenage years, I don't care. Like, whoever is fine. So, and I still choose that even like in our stories and things like that when we're choosing.
Yeah,
it's a range. We pick a wide range. It's kind of fun. Sometimes it's like, we have the most eclectic things up in our Instagram stories right now.
Well, it's good though. Good to have the different ranges and good to have that state of mind, right? Because there's always something new to look forward to or something to get excited about. I'll tell you what though, I was getting my hair cut the other day and there was a small, family getting their hair cut behind me. So they had the Baby Shark playing on YouTube. And then my hairdresser my barber was telling me, because he's got a few kids, he's like, all the YouTubers grab them now and make their own version. So we had the Baby Shark extended mix for about 10 minutes. And it was all fine. And then, 2 hours later, I'm walking in the street just like, geez, you can't stay away from it. It's so infectious, right?
I'm gonna say I'm happy that has mostly passed because I literally heard that at work all day long. So I work with kids, so it was
all day long. Yeah, I bet. Yeah.
No wonder you need a power ballad sometimes, just to.
Exactly. We need a power ballad sometimes for a lot of reasons. Sometimes Pink's got to be on real loud because.
Right.
Right.
Well, and sometimes she gets those power ballad bands and singers in her work.
Right. No, for sure. They've been there. So Journey's been there and Doobie Brothers have been there. And before the pandemic, when people could come.
We're getting back slowly.
Yes.
We've had a few people. We've had quite a few. Who else did I have there? Nick Carter, right?
Yep.
Nick Carter.
Backstreet Boys. Yeah.
Julie, don't be so modest. Come on.
Oh yeah, no, there's
names are there.
No, they're fun. They're very generous with our families. So the artistic community has been incredibly generous with the families. So we love that.
Love to hear that.
It's fun. So Pat, your movie, A Lifelong Love, is coming out on Friday, July 21st on Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. And we're excited for it. Yeah.
9 p.m.
Do you have Twitter?
9 p.m.
I don't. Oh, no, I do, but I don't use it. Andrea is extremely good on Twitter.
Yes.
She is.
I think the last movie she tried to get me on live with it, so maybe this time I'll
try to tweet. Because I tried to find you on Twitter, like to tag you in a post, and I was like, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yeah, no, I am not on it enough. I really only watch rugby league, which is football back home.
Right.
That's how I stay in touch with a lot of it. I get all the news through Twitter, but
I'm
going to get on there a little bit. So yeah, I'll probably be live with Andrea. She'll put my arm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then she'll probably retweet you, and we'll know which one is actually you.
I'm gonna say, how will we know where you are? I guess, but Andrea will retweet you. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a star on that. She's dialed in.
Yes.
We'll be looking.
Good.
Perfect. And tell everybody where they can find you on social media.
So I'm on social media at Pink Flamingo Boogie. Try and have a big breath before you say all that in one word. And that's and I think I'm on Facebook at Patch May. That's me. Yeah, I think I'm Twitter. I think I'm Patch.May, May, like the month. Nice and short.
There were a few choices there, so we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's Patch.
You think it's Patch.May?
Yeah. Julie, you put me on the spot here, but I don't want to.
Right? I'm looking for you. Oh, how about underscore? That's totally you. Patch_May.
Okay, so that's where you can find me. Patch_May. Make note of it right now. There it is.
That's you. I see. Okay.
There we go. I'll get more.
Good. We'll find you. And then hashtag a lifelong love, I'm sure will be what we're using. I want to know about the pink flamingo. What
time is it there? It's past 9 p.m. there, right? We can have that story. No. You always see the top half of me, but if you saw my pins, you'd get it. My legs. They're very skinny.
Okay.
It was a nickname that originated just after high school, and it's just kind of one of those things which I wasn't able to shake, so I just owned it. But I always keep thinking I should change my name back, and then it just stays. So it's good on Instagram, and it allows me that little bit of I guess anonymity.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Right.
A little harder to find you.
Yeah, those in the circle know, and then everyone else will find out in time. It's just a fun nickname from years gone by. That's all.
It's fun. We have a funny name too, so
yeah,
I like it.
Welcome to the funny name club. Because suspenders and buttons normal.
Yeah. Talk to me about that. Is there a story?
Oh, there's a story.
There's a story. Yeah. Go ahead, Julie.
What am I gonna say?
So we come out of a fan page, like a fan group. And then from that we decided to start a podcast, and our name kind of
traveled with us.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, so our fan page was Suspenders Unbuttoned, and then we became Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast. The podcast is broad, the fan page wasn't. Instagram took it down like a month ago. So.
Oh no! But then the other parts of the business, the other silos and the conglomerate continues to grow.
Right. So that's why I'm like, we have this umbrella. It's a little.
Yeah, the umbrella. That's it.
It's under the umbrella. We'll start the production company soon here.
Exactly. We got a third movie to make, Julie.
Let's go. There's a ghost. There's music. There's time travel. There's a love story.
He's gone now, but I could almost see Meatloaf doing anything for love, in the Scottish castle. Maybe that's where the inspiration comes from. I don't know. We're still working on it. We're still brainstorming. Yes, and. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
On the bits of paper.
I love it.
I'm old enough that I sang that song at the top of my lungs in the car while it was on the radio. So.
I mean, don't you think we all have though? Everybody knows that.
Right, because it's classic. It's so good, right?
It's great.
Be rude not to, as I say.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining us. This was a lot of fun.
Oh, ladies, thank you very much for having me. Really appreciate it. Nice to meet you and talk.
Oh, let's have him say something, Julie. Let's have him say. Let's make something.
We're trying.
My producer, Julie.
We've been on for 57 minutes. Say something.
No, can you say like I don't know, this is Patch May on Suspenders Unbuttoned podcast, and then we're gonna clip it.
Okay.
But we're live, so
okay. This is Suspenders Unbuttoned, and I'm Patch May.
Perfect. Love it. This was a lot of fun. We'll look forward to tweeting with you on Friday, July 21st.
Thank you very much. And please do, everyone, a lifelong love, July 21st. I'm looking forward to it. We had an absolute ball making this film. So I hope you guys all have a lovely time and have a bit of fun watching it too. Get the popcorn out, bit of butter, melt the butter on top. You're worth it. You can do it.
You're worth it.
You're worth it.
Perfect. Hang on 1 second. We're going to end the broadcast and we'll say goodbye.
Perfect.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.